Let's do it.
I want to talk really quickly about narcissists and about predators. Now, I know that predators come in both genders, males and females. But in this video, I want to talk about P. Diddy. Now, we all know about the allegations that Sean Combs has been accused of. So I'm not going to get into all of that in this video. However, I want to talk about the classic signs of a narcissist. Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever he want to call himself. Sean Combs is a narcissist, to say the least. Narcissist. Not all narcissists are the same. Okay, it's levels to it. Okay, but Sean Combs, he is a different breed. He's a different kind. He's like the spawn of Satan. And I wholeheartedly believe of the allegations that he has been accused of. So I'm not going to get into all of that in today's video. But I want to talk about the signs of a narcissist. Narcissist, the classic signs of a narcissist. There are so many signs. Narcissists are self-absorbed, okay? A lot of them lack empathy. They lack sympathy. They have no regard. And we talking about P. Diddy. We're not talking about your average narcissist, but let's just keep it simple. We're going to talk about P. Diddy and narcissists at his level, if there is a thing. They lack empathy. They lack sympathy. They have no regard for anybody but themselves. Okay, these people are self-absorbed. They, a lot of them are predators. Okay, they lack character. They lack integrity. They lack morals. Okay, and then if we're gonna talk about a narcissist and a predator, it's diabolical. Okay, because now you're dealing with a person who does not have any remorse. Okay, someone who only cares about himself. He will prey on anybody he deems weaker than himself. Okay, but most of his prey are gonna be female victims. Okay, they're gonna be underage girls, underage boys. Okay, these are manipulators, massive manipulators. Okay, they are predators. They prey on anyone. They will blackmail you. They will take advantage of you. They will manipulate you. They will use you for whatever they can use you for, whether that be sexually or whatever they can get out of you. Now, I've heard a few people say that they think that Cassie was a willing participant. Now, I'm not here to negate that. I'm not here to take up for Cassie or anything like that. However, I do believe that she was controlled. I think that she was taken advantage of. I think that she was in an abusive relationship. Sean Combs' mentor was Clive Davis, and we know that he is a music mogul, a 93-year-old narcissist, okay, to say the least. And in my opinion, I believe that he got some bodies, okay, up under him. This is somebody who's been in the entertainment industry for a long time, and he got a lot of pull in the music industry. And I'm gonna just say it like this: the music industry is very wicked. Okay, it is owned and operated by none other than Satan. Okay, Satan runs the music industry. He runs Hollywood, okay? Now, Clive Davis was Sean Combs, aka Diddy, the Diddler. I'm gonna just refer to him as the Diddler. Clive Davis was Diddy's mentor, okay? And we've all heard the rumors and allegations about Clive, okay? And when asked what was Clive's thoughts on the Diddler and about this whole scandal, Clive acted like he didn't know who they was talking about, okay? He had some type of temporary memory loss or something like that. He didn't know who Diddy was, okay? There's a big age difference between the Diddler and Cassie. I think Cassie may be around my age. I'm not sure how old she is. I'm 37, but I think Diddy is like in his early 50s. So we'll just say there's about a 15 age difference in between Cassie and the Diddler. If I'm not mistaken, when Sean met Cassie was about 19 years old, okay? So this was somebody who had been in the entertainment industry, okay? This is someone who was groomed by Clive, okay? And he was groomed. And Clive was Diddy's handler, okay? All celebrities, all of them have a handler, okay? Somebody that when they get out of line, their handler handles them and puts them back in check, okay? This is a person who controls them, basically. They keep them on a leash. That's what a handler is. They handle them, okay? That's why they're called handlers, because they handle them. And so Clive was Diddy's handler, okay? Now, for those of you who do not know, Clive is a bisexual, okay? For those of you who don't know, he's 93, okay? And he was Diddy's handler. And so Clive groomed him and trained him to be the monster that Diddy is today. Okay, so I do believe that Sean took advantage of Cassie because when they met, Cassie was very young and naive. Okay, she was a model. She wanted to be a singer. Diddy took control of her her music. I only know one song by Cassie, okay? Me and You Now. That's all I know. I don't know that she sung nothing else. But she was a model when they first met, okay? I think when she turned 21, they got into a serious relationship, if I'm not mistaken, and they were in entanglement in a relationship for about 10 or 11 years. And I believe that it was very toxic. I think that he was very controlling and abusive, okay? We all saw the hallway hotel room video from, I think that was 2016 or 18, don't get me wrong. It was one of them. But I think that even though Diddy is not on trial for the assault on Cassie, it was wrong on every level. And not only was it wrong, but I think that speaks volumes about the type of man that he is. I think that video footage is not going to work in his favor, okay? And it speaks volumes. It attests to the type of psychopath that Sean Diddy Combs is. It puts his character on trial. It just shows what type of individual he is and what type of lengths that he would go to when somebody tries to leave or when they try to oppose him. So it speaks volumes to about the type of character that he has, that he exemplifies. So I've heard a few people say that they think that Cassie was a willing participant. I'm not saying that she was or she wasn't, but when you are in an abusive relationship with a narcissist and a psychopath, sometimes you have to play along to get along, okay? Now, you gotta understand that this girl was 19 years old when she met him. He had 10, 15, 20 years on her age-wise, okay? So a man his age dealing with a 19, 20-year-old girl at the time, he had no business being involved with her or being in a relationship with her of any kind. Not to mention that he was her producer, okay? He signed her to Bad Boy, so now you mix the business with pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But it's the industry, so we all know anything goes, you know. Hey, it's just what it is. It's Hollywood. So he was controlling, he was manipulative. We've seen that he was abusive. Now, for all of you who say that you believe that Cassie was a willing participant, when you are in an abusive relationship with someone who has all of these years on you, someone who was groomed by a narcissist, okay, a sociopath, Clive taught Diddy everything that he knows. So you gotta understand, this girl was a beautiful 19-year-old girl, okay, coming into the industry at a tender age. She was green, and he knew that, and he took advantage of that. He took advantage of her, okay? He ran it on her. We don't know what all she had to endure, okay? In my opinion, she's a survivor. Now, I'm not saying that she's innocent. I'm not saying that, you know, they didn't have ups and downs and that they didn't have good days or bad days. Clearly, they had bad days. But I know that he is a narcissist and he is abusive. And just a little piece of footage that we saw on that video when he beat her up in that hotel hallway, it's like, that's just what we saw. So we don't know what all she endured over a 10 or 11 year span. We don't know if he's capable of doing that in a hotel hallway where people are walking by and he didn't care. Then imagine what all he did when nobody was around or when no one was watching. You got to understand who this man is and how much power that he has and how much influence he has. This man has been accused of all of these things, and he's been in the music industry for over 30 years, and he's just now getting caught, okay? So you need to understand the type of individual who had control over a young and naive, beautiful girl who was green. Okay, so of course sometimes she was going to act like she liked it. It's called survival of the fittest. And when you are dealing with a predator, when you are in a relationship with a predator and a sociopath, someone who is narcissistic and abusive, yes, you're gonna have feelings for your abuser. Yes, you're gonna love him. He probably was her first, and if he wasn't her first, she probably had not slept with that many people yet. And from what I've heard, she was very inexperienced when they first had sex. So when you are in a relationship with someone and you're inexperienced, or if they're your first, quite naturally, as a woman, as a young female, yes, you're gonna have feelings for that person, whether they were abusive to you or not. It doesn't matter, okay? There's a syndrome for it, and I can't think of what it's called, but when I edit the video, I'll put it in here. But it's very deep. It's very spiritual, okay? So of course she did love him. Of course she had feelings for him. And you know, whatever this text message is going around where she said she enjoyed the freakouts. When you're in a relationship with someone who is abusive and controlling and blackmailing you and doing all of these things, of course you gotta play by their rules. I mean, look who she was up against. Diddy is like literally the offspring of Satan. Okay, he's like the spawn of Satan. So she had to play along. She had to pretend sometimes, because you gotta understand, this is a man who, when he doesn't get what he wants, okay, he rears his ugly head, and that mess, it slips off. He plays a role. Narcissists are good actors, okay? The traits and the characteristics of a narcissist, sometimes they will be charismatic, sometimes they will be charming, or they will pretend, or they might very well be these things, but they are great actors. They put on a front, they put on a facade. That's just who they are. That's just who they are. That's just what they do. That's just how they get down. These people have no regard for anyone else but themselves. They're self-absorbed, okay? They're controlling. They can be manipulators. They are liars. They're good at liars. They will breadcrumb you. They will take advantage of you. They will gaslight you. They lack accountability. They don't have any accountability. They always shift the blame on everyone else. They don't hold themselves accountable for anything. Nothing's ever their fault. It's always your fault. They're always going to point the finger at someone else. These are the classic signs of a narcissist. And this is just some of the signs, to name a few. So, before you point the finger at Cassie, where were all of the men and the producers and the bodyguards and, where were all of these people who let the diddler get away with all of this for all of these years, for 30 plus years? Because I'm gonna tell you like this, Diddy didn't do all of this by himself, okay? He didn't. He had to have help. And I'm gonna just tell you, as sick and twisted as Diddy is not locked up for all of the abuse that he has done. Okay, that's not why he's locked up.